Mike and Dave rolling, boots on the ground. Big Rooster Media making their rounds. Tackling water wars, rights in a bind. Speaking the truth, leaving no one behind. Whoa, raise your glasses high tonight. Talking water, talking rights, keeping it tight. Food reviews and facts so bold. Klamath store.
What's up, Klamath Falls? This is Mike.
What's up, Klamath Falls? This is Dave.
What's up, Klamath Falls? It's Kristy Gerlett.
We have Kristy back, and it seems we've got a lot to talk about. So, first off, welcome back to Klamath.
Thank you.
And where are we at? I guess
I know,
it's a
right?
good place
Where do
to
we
start. Yeah.
I'll take a sip of my energy drink because
Well, while you're doing that, and first off, I want to thank you for, I don't know how to put it. We're a little group.
Exclusivity.
And so you've been loyal, whatever. You let Portland in, and that's fine, but I appreciate you giving us the exclusive, I guess.
Yeah.
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 I wanted to start off with that too. I mean, I truly believe this is where media is going. And I've just seen you guys grow and watch your shows, and I'm just a fan and the way you guys play off each other. And I know that, it's been almost a year now, right? You guys have been covering my mom's case.
Yeah. Over, actually. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's become a lot even bigger than myself and my family, and become a little bit contentious here, and that you guys continue to cover it, and it means a lot to us. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, obviously it affects you and your family,
Mhm.
but ultimately the outlying factors in this affect people in Klamath County also.
Definitely.
And so it's exposed a lot of,
More than I think we all thought.
Oregon at that, too.
Yeah. The
yeah,
state.
yeah.
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot.
It's exposed a lot of things that I think need to be fixed,
I agree.
for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, I think the more that I look into all of the issues in the case, it's just like a big onion. And there's obviously personal responsibility, there's local responsibility, there's state responsibility, there's a lot. But we keep trucking along.
Right?
Yeah.
So you kind of, I want you to kind of control the narrative, or I want this to be about you and your story. You did give me some bullet points here, so I'm going to go ahead and
Yeah.
just start off with
That would
your
help
meeting.
just because I'm long day.
Long day, yeah, jet lagged and all that. I get. So, meeting with the DA's office.
Yeah, I feel like what is this, day 3 there? I'm going to be there again tomorrow. Just been kind of there all day doing, can't go into the specifics, obviously, but looking at things and kind of getting ready for trial. And obviously your district attorney, David Scott, he and I have come a long way. And, his staff has been really great to me. And the last visit I had, actually, we did our interview. I met with him, and that was a very good meeting. And it's just kind of blossomed ever since. He just he fights crime.
Yeah,
He fights crime, and it's. I look at the dynamics of, you have the sheriff's office, and then you have the DA's office, and then you have the court. And I've noticed that certain individuals like to shift blame on the DA's office. And in my mother's case, I truly think that when everything comes out, he's going to come out looking, as I've said before, like the hero.
right.
He fights inside the courtroom, outside the courtroom. He's very limited. He has to wait for the sheriff's office to do what the sheriff's office does, and he can't control the judge. But you guys really have a good one with David Scott, in my opinion.
And getting a glimpse behind the scenes a little bit, from my perspective, I agree. It did seem like the last time you were here was a turning point for you and
was.
him,
It was.
and just the knowledge that I have of how he's handled this case since that point. He seems like a decent guy, and I know there's people locally that have their opinions, and they're not always rosy. But you know what? I mean, a lot of folks don't understand how his hands can be tied by other factors.
Thank you.
So,
And I think it's easy to shift blame, right, to different people if you don't want to take accountability. But if he doesn't have a report, he can't file a motion. If things aren't thoroughly investigated, he can't move forward. So, and then I'm just one case. He has to work with the new administration, Jane Mitchell's administration, in other cases, and I just really appreciate his efforts, and I think he knows that. And also, I think he really values transparency, and I think that when this is all done, the things that I know behind the scenes, the public will eventually get to know.
mhm.
I feel like the BOCC has that same kind of mentality of transparency, and I think that's really important just for residents because if you decline a FOIA or you things start to look nefarious.
Right.
So transparency, I think, is best for everyone.
And I've heard some naysayers about our board of commissioners too. And I don't know. We've had 2 of the 3 of them on the show, and I truly feel like they have our best interest. They all have different perspectives, which is fine. We need diversity that way. But I truly feel like our commissioners have our best interest in mind, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, people have asked me. I've never ever been critical of any commissioner at the BOCC, but they've always, taken my calls and advocated for me where they could. They're very limited. They don't have power over the sheriff's office. I think Commissioner Nichols is doing a fantastic job, and public safety is definitely what he campaigned on. And I mean, what he's been doing recently has been pretty amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about Christine Pereira.
The hearing,
Yeah.
the release hearing. Yeah, so she has 5 cases, and in the beginning of the year she had 2, and Judge Headland granted her permission to travel because, of course, when you're released, you can't leave the state of Oregon. But then she got 3 more cases, and she didn't have permission to travel under those. She felt she took it upon herself to go out of state, and people came forward. I think that's one of the pluses of my social media campaign is just the awareness.
Right.
So she went out of state. Witnesses came forward. There was video. So she couldn't deny it, right? So her thing was, oh, well, I figured because you said I could travel here, I can then. So Judge Headland didn't have that. And David Scott, of course, motioned that she go back to jail because, frankly, it's more insulting to the court than to anyone.
Right.
I mean, he was
Right.
very clear on her not being able to travel. I posted that audio on my Facebook, and she did it anyway. So, yeah, he ordered that she go back to jail.
How'd that work out?
Well,
Wait,
And $30,000 bail. So I sat in the courtroom and watched her get. Well, here's what's interesting. So it actually got picked up on the audio. So she had people there with her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm ready to get bailed out," which was only about $3,000. And so, and of course, as you know, it's cash only. So she had the money. She was gonna bail herself out that day, but Shane Mitchell saved her from that because she was matrixed. So I think it was just a quick hold my beer and 0 bail.
So another criminal with multiple cases against him, and he just let her go again, even with a $30,000 bail.
And she had the money this time. She had the money this time.
I don't know how the DA does it. I would be, if I just don't know how he does it. It's got to be so frustrating. To
Well, this one's
have
bad.
this repeatedly, he's pushed for bail and
And Headland was the one that sent her back,
Yeah.
right? He could have booked and released her and was like, "Nope, you're going to jail, and this is the bail."
our sheriff said, "No, it's okay. You can go." Again.
so are all these 5 on your case, or are there 5?
There's 3 on my case, my mom's case, and 2 on other cases. So another was another forgery case, and then the Walmart theft. I did want to say, I think the really bad message about this is this was actually a consequence. This one wasn't like a grand jury indictment, right? we gave you so much leniency, so much grace.
Right.
You chose to not follow the rules. This is your consequence, whether it's jail and then matrix or $3,000, there will be a consequence for your action on breaking your release. And she now has none. And so to me, I mean, what it emboldens her, right?
Oh, sure.
The judge did what the judge needed to do. The DA did what the DA needed to do. And then cue in Shane Mitchell.
Right. Who just doesn't care.
I actually wish it was that he didn't care. I think he just is so angry and so upset
With you.
with me.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I know this just because of the vitriol online. And something I've learned about dealing with him, which is so unfortunate because I haven't dealt with it with other. You guys okay?
Yeah, we're good.
With other individuals, is he's the type of person that if you're either with him or against him, either for or against. There's no middle ground. There's no let's come to the table and have a conversation. If he views you as an adversary, you will remain as such. And the commissioners aren't like that.
Right.
DA isn't like that.
Well,
He's retaliatory.
and as an elected official, you shouldn't be like that. And I have extended multiple invitations at the court or at the sheriff's office, on the show, through friends, mutual friends, to, hey, I'll give you all the time you want to come on here and talk about whatever you want to. No, not a public speaker apparently either. So I want to shed light on both sides, but there's no willingness there. So
Well, he doesn't get back to me either.
right, No, I know.
I mean, I've been in town for a couple days. He has people watching my, Facebook, and he has said some horrible things about me to other people, not publicly, right? So he knew that backfired on Chris Kaber. When Chris Kaber made a statement, former Sheriff Chris Kaber, it backfired. So he's not going to publicly say something, but he sure has a lot to say behind the scenes, hoping you guys will forget about me soon.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
Well, and so real quick, just the ironic of, because this was at Tootley Lake Fair, was that?
Yes.
Okay, so for us around here, that's, how do I put this? It's out of state, totally out of state. But from this house to the fair is 30 minutes, 35. So it's not.
Is that close?
Oh yeah. So
25
that it's
25 miles.
it's just ironic that out of all the places that allegedly she may have been,
Yeah.
you slip your mind. Oh, I'm going to the fair, and it's a common thing to do here, but. The law's the law. That is California.
Sorry, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. I mean, you go down there and you don't even, I don't think twice, but I'm.
Well, I'm not also on parole either.
Well,
so I'm not charged with
Not
multiple
28
crimes
felonies.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of
White and privileged right now.
I
don't. Anyway.
enjoy the perks of a
Did you
clean
guys go
record.
this year?
Right.
Yeah.
So there is news on Eve Costello, who was representing Christine or Renee.
Christine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She withdrew. I believe it was this morning. So that it was mixed feelings. I mean, I'll tell you this. I've talked to a lot of people in this county, people who don't necessarily like each other, but they all agree that Eve Costello was a horrible DA. No, I wasn't here. Like, I don't know all of the backstory, but apparently she wasn't that great as a prosecutor. She was not that good as a defense attorney either. It was funny though. We had a little moment in court where after the judge ordered Christine to be arrested, she walked by me and I was sitting with two other people, and she was like, "You can leave. You can go."
She
To
said that
what?
to you.
Oh yeah, straight up. And I just looked at her and I was like, okay, I'm watching this. I'm watching her get arrested. But when you have that power position, I just feel like it gets to their heads.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably a good step for your case. I would hope.
I mean, it's definitely going to delay it, so she'll get a new attorney, but see, I like the false confidence this gives her, right? Like she, in her mind, never had to do bail. I'm always getting released. Like now I get to be out and have more delay. But Christine Pereira is going to prison. At the end of this, that's exactly what's going to happen. And so, she's slowly getting humbled, but she will get humbled at the end of this. So we can just let her think that she's okay. It's fine.
Well, what happened with the fair should be a little bit of a wake up call. Of course, when you have a friend in the sheriff that repeatedly lets offenders out. What's that? The third or fourth time she was supposed to be remanded to
Six.
jail? Sixth time.
See, now I can't
And
even say it seriously.
Spent what,
because it's
24
so
hours there
horrible.
total out of all of that?
Oh, within hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a full 24. Yeah. I don't honestly even know if they took her to the jail. I don't know if they transferred her there or they just did it at the courthouse. I tried to get the document. It just said that she was Matrix. When I went to bed last night, I thought she had posted bail because I knew that she wasn't there and I knew that she had that bail ready. When I saw the Matrix, I was like, because you guys need money.
Oh, we do.
You could have used the 3,000. And also it's it goes to restitution, right? I think. And so it's just that was definitely a move to try to do a jab, but I'm pretty sure, well, I can't speak for the DA and definitely can't speak for the judge, but the message that it sends is it keeps going back. It keeps making people look at Shane, right?
And people wonder why crime is so high here. You keep turning them loose. So.
And it just emboldens them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why would you have any second thoughts about continuing on the way? Because you keep doing the same forgeries and stuff like that over and over again.
Breaking court orders.
Yeah, and you just keep getting sent back home. So
With
yeah.
no monitor, right?
Right.
No supervision.
Yeah, so why not? I mean, where's the deterrent there? Without a monitor is a great point. I don't even know if we can afford those in Klamath County, but we should have monitors, ankle monitors or something. House arrest, I mean.
I had many conversations about that. Her one real rule, and that's, by the way, just one, right? Like, she doesn't have a lot, is you can't leave the state. Are you going to ask me how she's getting supervised? Is she getting tracked? The answer is no. And you have to realize this is a person, 28 felonies, which is in deceit, in lying, right? So it feels a little bit like a dog and pony show at times.
Yeah. I'll just.
All the time?
All the time.
Right.
Is it getting more and more movie? I don't know where we're at,
Right. So,
The
okay,
popcorn.
so that was Christine's side. So what's going on with Renee's side of the.
Yeah, so, well, I think Mr. Scott has said it. I don't think I know has said it publicly. There's going to be some more charges coming down for Mama Pereira. So she will also get humbled. She thinks that she kind of just is in the wind, right? And think we're going to go to trial. So we're going to do a trial setting date on Friday. That's for the fake will charges. But it'll be very interesting to see the new ones coming down.
We'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So you have relations.
I will say that when I was in court, I was ready to look at anyone. Like, I will stare through your soul. And no one made eye contact with me except her. And she smirked and laughed and giggled and was staring me down. And, I was just looked straight at her. I mean, they're very sick, evil individuals. But like I said, I mean, I know this is going to come out shady, but I have genuinely thought about this. I don't have kids, so I couldn't imagine what it's like to be her, to have these felony charges. To think she's almost 70 years old, and then to see your daughter. Right?
It seems like she's promoting that with her daughter.
28 felonies,
hand in hand, right?
I mean, what a legacy for her grandkids,
Legacy, right?
or just her family in general.
Yeah.
Because to me, her other relatives are also victims, in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, the Google lasts forever. These news stories last forever.
Right.
And both have no shame in their game.
And that's why the daughter's like the mother.
Yeah.
You
I think
know,
the daughter's definitely worse than the mom. They're both just
well, when you're
very,
enabled,
yeah.
you're gonna, and especially not only when you're enabled by your parent, but when you're enabled by law enforcement as
The
well.
system. Yeah.
Yeah, the system.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the deterrent? You know. So
Yeah.
you do have here a relationship with Shane Mitchell.
Oh yeah, I think we just touched on that earlier.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is, Mike. I think I, I'm repulsed, disgusted, the things that he's been telling people. And there are some people that believe it, right? I mean, they feel like when I am critical of him, I'm somehow critical of them. I've always been critical of his leadership, and I know that there's a lot that I can't disclose. But what was new to me was being critical of someone in a political position. And then the counter to that was the personal attacks to me. I just think it's weak. I think it's small. I don't think it does anything good for the county. Um, and unfortunately, you know, a lot of people feel the same way. I think there's a very big group of people that regret their vote or are glad that they didn't vote for him.
Agreed. You're absolutely correct. And go ahead, Dave.
I coming from the Caber situation, I really don't know, because we were involved in that whole election. Who would have been better at this point?
I think that there has to come a point where people are going to be willing to have difficult conversations. And you had Mitchell new, and then you had Commissioner Nichols new. And I just feel like Andy talks to people, he takes people's calls, he listens to people's concerns. The exact opposite of Shane Mitchell.
One we've talked. I believe this was on. Well, probably not. He left the administration for one reason or another, and went to politician
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because of certain situations. So
The bottom line though is they're both elected officials in
correct,
Klamath County.
correct.
One is acting like a public official that is beholden to the community, and the other one acts like he's wearing a crown and owes the community nothing.
He believes that he is.
And
I think intrinsically he believes this to be true.
yeah, which one? The crown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crown. Is that the new hashtag?
Yeah,
No.
that might be. I don't know. It's just for I've really tried. We've laid off criticisms in the last few months. I was hoping to have got a friend that swore that they'd be able to get him to come on our show, and I've just nothing. And I would meet him away from here and just have a conversation with him to see if we could even have a meeting of the minds to have a discussion on this program. And I get zero response back. So
He's also a bit of a like Neanderthal in that way. I don't feel like, no, I don't mean that to be shady. I mean, like, you have to,
We have a story later.
no, I mean, like, you have to be able to articulate.
Dave has
We
a
should
story
cut
later.
that. We should cut that out. What I was trying to get to was like you have to be able to come to the table and have like articulate conversations and not have emotional reactions. I'll say this. I think I told you this off camera. The estate of my mom, my family, the DA, and the sheriff, as well as the public liaison for the BOCC. None of us have ever been in the same room together, ever. It's been almost 3 years.
Wow.
I asked for that meeting, and everyone agreed, except one. So it never happened.
Not surprised. Not
I
surprised.
was a little bit. You weren't?
Yeah.
You
No.
weren't?
No, not, and nothing directed towards you. I'm just not surprised because that communication is just not a forte there. So,
Well, and really, if you go back thinking about the campaign too, almost he had a opportunity to sit down with the other,
Bryson.
Bryson,
Hmm.
and he didn't want to do it because he was on the leave at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I use
it's
there's always a
common
reason.
theme. Well, it's a common theme.
Yeah.
There's no public interaction, I guess.
You know what? First of all, I agree. I think the other theme I've seen a lot is I have seen commissioners take accountability personally for things. I've seen David Scott take accountability for things. I have never, it's been almost a year, seen Shane Mitchell take accountability for anything.
Right.
Right now, he's riding the Caber wave, right? He gets to say, oh, Caber did it. I'm cleaning up the Caber mess. But pretty soon, that excuse is not going to work anymore. And then you're going to start seeing the shark bites
Right.
because he refuses to take accountability for any. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's just what I've seen.
From the experience that I have had in witnessing what's gone on, I don't think there is any correction to be made. I wish there was, but again, I've probably left a half dozen business cards up there, invitations beyond asking for a comment or anything, and somebody will call you, and they never do. So, and that seems to be a common thread. There are several local Facebook pages. There's Scanner News, and those, and people share similar stories and frustrations that they never get a call back. So,
Was that your biggest surprise? I've always wanted to ask you that, like, both of you, what has been your biggest surprise in seeing his leadership?
the lack of, honestly.
You thought he'd be different?
Oh, that's the only reason I voted for him, based on recommendations from some of his employees that I know, and friends that know him. And yeah, I heard nothing but great things. So I'm super disappointed, and I won't make that mistake twice.
And he's been in the community. I think I don't
Long time.
Well, I think he was born here or raised. He's been here a long time, and he was a good police officer. And so when that role changed or becoming the sheriff, it's just a total almost flip, or he doesn't know how to handle being more public as a sheriff. It's just weird.
I mean, I know that there are challenges. I know that the Caber administration left a train wreck.
Oh,
They did.
dumpster fire.
A dumpster fire.
And I know that
It's a year later.
right, I know that there's budget issues and all that, which again, I'd be more than happy to discuss and put that out as well on a program. But when you're not willing to talk, it's really hard on this side to not. You are more than happy to talk with us. The county commissioners will talk with us. The DA won't, but I get his position.
He might
in
after
this.
the case, right?
Right,
You know?
right. I would love to talk to him. But it's hard not to appear biased when
It's one-sided.
it's one-sided. The only people willing to talk aren't the ones that are holding things up or creating problems, for lack of a better way to put it.
See, I actually think it's deeper than that. I think if he were to sit down with you and he feeds you his political BS, he knows that I would be right behind him with the emails and the phone calls and the texts. I've said a lot of things about a lot of people for the last couple of years. Never been sued. Never been sent a cease or desist because they know what the public also believes.
Right,
I'm not lying.
right.
You know that. I've shared things with you and
You
you've
have.
always kept it,
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be lied on, and I'm not going to have my mom's name lied on either.
Yeah. No, it's been really hard to keep quiet on some things, but
I know.
you
You guys do
courtesy.
a good job, right?
Well,
You're like,
I mean, no, but I respect that dialogue, and so I would never mess that up.
right.
And it does give a little insight into the background of what's going on. And a lot of folks don't realize, but you can do a FOIA request. You can grab emails, all of that from the sheriff's office, from the county commissioners, from
I think it's any public
office. Yeah, you can do a FOIA request, but know what you're asking for, or you're going to get a dump truck full of paperwork and a large bill to go with it.
That's true.
You're not specific.
That's very true. I was going to say, I found myself a little frustrated. I understand Dave's position. He doesn't want to talk publicly about the case. Doesn't matter. TV, magazine, YouTube. But at times, I call them the Mitchell mob. We're going hard on Dave, and I found it to be not only actually it's factually untrue, but grossly unfair. But that serves the Mitchell narrative, right? Blame the DA. Blame the DA.
Blame somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easier than accepting accountability.
So I've voiced many times my appreciation for David Scott, but yeah, I don't think I can't. It's still shocking just to see that lack of accountability for me.
Oh, all right.
Next one, guys.
Well, let's talk about this.
Henry too.
I can read too.
Yeah, well, you're more than. Yeah. Well, I was going to bring up the storage unit items, the stuff that owns the state.
The storage unit. I have to tell you that I have the right to voice my opinion. Right?
Absolutely.
And I can voice my opinion on people. Obviously, the women in this case were vile. The leaders that turned their back on us, also vile. But also, if not equally vile to me, is Bruce Simmons and the manager of that storage unit. And seen and heard a lot of things. Some of that stuff was pretty disturbing. The lack of empathy, compassion, the greed, the money motivation. I know you've talked to him before. And he calls himself a pastor. Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, I know.
That's really, really. I gotta tell you, the residents here came hard. They were like, they got their lanterns and their pitchforks because they were like, "Oh, you just made us look bad again."
Right. Right. So no idea at this point where any of those belong.
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. So there are two people who officially know where those items are, and that's Sheriff Shane Mitchell and his undersheriff Mike Smith. I cannot tell you how many people have asked behind the scenes. My mother's estate, constant emails, calls. Obviously, we know I have, and there's no straightforward answer. So whoever's watching this, if you see Sheriff Mitchell, you can ask him where the criminal evidence, where our stolen property is, because there was over 100 items. I've thought about that so often. You have the defendant's storage unit, or I call it the den, right? The defendant's storage unit with multiple victims' items in there, and thousands of dollars, which of course isn't compared to the heirlooms. So I don't know where it is, but Sheriff Mitchell does. Can you guys try to get an answer for me?
Yeah. If I had any hope of getting a better response than you.
Right? Can you guys try? When he calls you back? Yeah? Yeah.
I'm waiting for that call still.
Hold my beer.
So that kind of brings me to the transparency in Klamath County.
Oh, yeah. You do talk about FOIA, and I feel like
I want people to be aware.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where accountability comes from, is you can say one thing in a camera, but if I can pull up your last month's worth of email conversations regarding a topic, that's where the truth comes out. I mean, there's some things, there's always a paper trail.
If one wants to be left, there's a paper trail.
Right.
If one does not want to be left, there are ways that they can dodge them, right? I've seen that in my mother's case. I think the BOC is very transparent. I think that you have your county counsel, County Attorney Marcus Henderson. I feel like he's also pro-transparency. The reason I say that is I had some internal emails that I saw with the sheriff's office where certain requests were made. And they reached out to county council, and it was something like, do we have to? Do we have to? Residents don't want to read that type of attitude.
Right.
Right. And Mr. Henderson has been like, well, we have laws and things are, and it benefits the county to be public about it. I understand why, obviously, David Scott can't disclose things right now because this criminal case is ongoing. But when it's adjudicated, I'm sure that he would be open to releasing if when the case is done. But I know in other situations where requests have been made to the sheriff's office for reports, things that were closed, and no, the answer is no. And it's okay. Can we use this excuse? This will stick. Make this stick, and I want this to stick. And when you just add that up over time, you start to think uncomfortable things.
It's just so frustrating. These people are elected officials. They're public employees that are getting paid by our taxes. I don't know. I think there should be a certain accountability there for all, not some realize
what are you curious? Because I'm curious about the internal emails with the sheriff's office and the new administration. I can't wait to get those. Those are going to be nice. What are you like, you as a resident? What are you curious about?
I'm curious why I not regarding your case, but in particular, just in general.
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing is we have a budget, and granted, the sheriff's office budget is determined on a year-to-year basis. Okay, if you go back and look at the historical payments to them or allotments to the sheriff's office to operate each year, it's fairly consistent dollar amount wise. So the excuse that we can't hire or we can't do this or we can't do that because we don't know if we're going to have money next year. You've had money within this, several thousands of dollars consistently for years and years. So hire people,
Which has never dropped drastically.
No.
Not a budget. I mean, because I expect, a personnel generically, I'm going to give them 80,000 or 60,
Yeah.
It's never,
60. No.
well, I'm just saying.
Come on.
The sheriff's deputy starts at around 54 a year.
It's never been that much of a swing
No.
to remove an entire person. So shouldn't be an issue.
Well, and maybe if you did things like collect bail when people are, sentenced.
Great solution.
And maybe you could bring some money in that way. Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
That is wild, right? 28 felonies, never bail.
Right? 28 felonies and still walking the street, period.
Right, brother.
It's just crazy. So, violent crime or not, I don't care. At some point, you're just looking at ongoing victims then.
Yeah.
Who else is going to become a victim?
Yeah.
So it's just frustrating. But yeah, to answer your question though, I think it's because my ultimate concern is what I think is going to happen is if this continues down this path, they can yank funding, they can yank patrol.
Which part? When you say this can, just the lack
The
of
distrust and the lack of, I don't know, in my opinion, solid leadership.
Sure.
They can reduce it to just an operational jail and an office.
Correct.
And that's it.
Correct.
And
then he'll blame them, right?
sure. Oh yeah.
Them.
Yeah. And
I think he's going to do that, by the way. That's my prediction for your county, just so you know, is when this keeps going, that I think that Sheriff Mitchell is going to start attacking the board.
right.
Because he can't do Caber anymore. He can't do me, but he has to do someone. So he's
Right.
going to blame the budget.
And yeah. And yeah, that's going down the wrong path. And if that gets, if that attempt is made, then we'll do our best to cover that and expose it too.
Yeah.
So, but that's my fear is that they're wanting to expand and grow out into the East County and all that area.
You were vocal about that.
Well, and here's my frustration with that. So he was happy to go out and have town halls in these little communities that need or would like to have that service. But the root of the taxpayer money would be coming from people here, not those people out there to help fund that. Well, I guess they were going to raise taxes, property taxes out there and that, but that he never once addressed Klamath County proper or Klamath Falls residents. And I think that we should have, I've got land out there and, I not that I have anything on it, but it still concerns me. I would have liked to have had extra patrols out there. But when nothing is being effective with what you have right now, why would you spend more money on more ineffectiveness? I guess is the best way to put it.
You know what just hit me when you said that is like lack of, deputies going out there. What's worse, deputies not going there at all, or detectives going there and just doing the most minimal work? They're both unacceptable,
Right.
right?
Right.
I can't go into too much detail, but I will give you a little tidbit for you guys. We uncovered another financial crime that was perpetrated against my family, and we, it was brought to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office did not call the financial institution. They didn't call the, let's say, store to get any type of receipt, find out who used this dead woman's card, as they like to refer. They called the suspect. Asked the suspect if she did it, and that was the end of the report.
And she said no, and everything was just fine, right? I'm sorry. I'm
That
not.
sounds like the greatest.
It's
kinda-
just beyond.
No, and that's
something all you
that's
can
a
do is
report.
laugh.
I know it's a report. And it will be public one day, right? It'll be public one day. That was the investigation,
Wow.
and that wasn't Caber. That was literally just a couple weeks ago. And I remember when I just saw it actually not too long ago, and I was like, this is bad. This is not going to look okay. It just shows either gross negligence, right? Or just complete, we don't care. Just send Dave something. Send him something. Send him
Right.
something so we get it off our desk.
Or favoritism,
Mm.
depending on sometimes in little communities like that or like this, it's who you know.
Very much so.
I'm just not going to expand on that anymore. I know you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
So let's talk about the social media campaign.
Doing really good, yeah.
Good. You get
Keeps surprising me, man.
attention.
It's very humbling. I don't even know how to express my thank yous. Every time I come to Klamath, I'm staying with a Klamath County resident. I've had Klamath County residents spend their own personal money helping my family. And man, they can go hard on social media, right? They get very
Oh, yeah.
protective.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think they want to be a part of this like nasty narrative fold,
Right.
And they have had their own experiences with whomever or whatever. And I personally didn't expect to get this kind of support, but I'm very thankful for it.
This is a good community. It gets kind of a bad rap from I'm sorry, but the people that don't like it here give the whole community a bad rap. And instead of doing something to make it better, they just bitch and complain and make it worse, And that's the sad part. We live in in my opinion, one of the most beautiful spots in the country here. We've got great scenery all around us. There's all kinds of things to do. And there are just people that are just downers that want to hate on everything. And it's sad.
Right.
So
You've said that so many times publicly, how much you love this county.
I do.
You're just talking about a few people in public office that are dropping the ball. That has nothing to do with the general populace.
Right. Right. No, it's still a great place to live. It just, some could do better.
Mhm.
So,
My energy drink is
fading.
fading.
So, we'll talk about the white collar versus violent crime.
Yeah, that is, there's a woman at the DA's office named Melina. I can't think of her last name right now. Doesn't know my mom's case. Never talked to her about it. But I posted about her on my Facebook because she made public comments about crime victims. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to get teary-eyed. I met her this week, and again, like she doesn't know my mom's case, and I wanted to thank her for her comments about crime victims. I encourage people to go to my page and look at it. You're violated when you're a victim in different type of ways. There's not a first class of crime victims and a coach section of crime victims. A crime is a crime. And when law enforcement deals with you, they're dealing with you on your worst day. And I, of course, have heard the attacks of how dare I, I haven't been physically this or physically that. How dare you? How dare you to put judgment on me? No one knows what this has been like.
Emotional crimes are tough too.
Mm.
And you've been through hell with this whole thing from the
To say
day
the
your
least.
mom passed. And I probably have more insight into that than a lot of people outside of your family. But
Yeah.
and to have this insult added to that injury, that's what lit my fire on this to begin with and why we cover it. And
Well, it's re-victimization, right? So
right.
first you're victimized by the crime, then you're whichever one it is, then you're victimized by the system, and then the worst part is when you are a crime victim and you speak up and you speak out, and then those in authority, these are supposed to be your protectors and your helpers, they come at you with some of the vitriol. I mean, I'm not going to grace her name on your airwaves, but there was the former deputy DA here that had made some very vulgar, horrible, horrible comments about me, and I did a pretty scathing comeback. We call that the clap back, right? Don't apologize for it. Stand by it. But this is what was scary for me about this. This is a woman who was cloaked in a lot of power. She appears to fundamentally believe this. She absolutely gives this appearance that in her mind, a crime victim is somebody who was either sexually assaulted or physically assaulted. This is it. That's it. Everyone else is pitter patter. Now imagine she tried to become a judge here. Imagine if she did become a judge and this is what she actually believes to be true,
Right.
that this is what qualifies you as a victim and everybody else is below. We would never know that, right? Because she's protected by the robe that she wears, but she believes this, and then she does these rulings and has these interactions. That's scary to think of what a judge actually personally believes about a victim or a defendant or a case, because we will actually never, you know why? They don't have to tell us.
And that is a fault in our system. There's not really any good way to vet a candidate for a judge. You really have. I
What would you
mean,
like to see? How do you think it should?
I would just like to see their record on I don't know. Give me a span of 2 years and the trials that they faced and how they ruled on them.
Oh, yeah. How many
Just
did they
give me
really?
a window. What were the crimes? How did they rule on them? What was the end result? So, I think there needs to be a way for. The flip side of that is you could provide all that information and a half dozen people would pay attention to it because people are so preoccupied with everything else right now that nobody wants to take the time to do their due diligence to research people, to research candidates. I think it would be a significantly different world if people took the time to know who they were voting for and know about them, regardless of position. And I don't think that enough people take the time to do that.
Yeah, I think that was one thing initially with Judge Headland. I mean, you've done stuff on him outside of my mom's case as well, and I don't think I know when people heard certain audios, it wasn't good, right? And I remember, not obviously this week, but I don't even know if it was the last hearing, but I had been going to court, as you know, both civilly and criminally, um, every single time for almost 3 years. And I recently had made a decision not to attend, because in theory, the idea is when a victim, we don't have many times to address the court, but sometimes we do, like I did this week. And the theory is that when you address the court, they take in the family. They take in our thoughts, and then they can at least consider it in their rulings, right? I if you feel like you're falling on your stomach, if you feel like you're falling on deaf ears, it's just after a while, it just became,
Well, it's painful.
you're just so much dismissive. But this week, I was there in person. I made my statement. I posted it online, and that's the problem. Like you said, when you're on this side of the bench, where I was like, what is it? I can only go off the same thing that you've gone off of, right? The audio, the interactions, and that's what
Right.
it is.
Well, you shouldn't have to be here to get attention, especially when it's severe. I mean, you're dealing with what, 2 million ish?
Oh yeah, that's the estate's just wiped out. Plus the personal debt that we've all incurred. I don't think I know that financially the best way that we can come out of this is not filing bankruptcy due to the debt. Someone
I was just saying, not to downgrade all that, but you shouldn't have to show up here because you're from out of town, 2 layovers or whatever, and the amount of money that has been put
Yes.
out fighting it. But you shouldn't separate that from child abuse or whatever to a money crime.
A crime is a crime. Yeah.
Especially at that
You have always said that.
magnitude. That it's aggravating. It's
Yeah. It's
not to downplay, the personal body stuff.
Right.
That's what. But still, you can't put a price on this stuff. I mean, that's your family place. It's
Yeah, I can't
it's okay. They
it's hard to explain the feeling when you've been victimized by a crime and you are in a courtroom, whether you're there in person or virtually, and you look around and you feel like not only do people not care, they actually see you as the enemy.
that's
And it's just re-victim. And I was actually talking to a friend. I was like, I might have to go to therapy over this because I don't have a lot of anger for these women. I think it's just because I've investigated them so much and I just believe that they are low and they are evil and they are gross and I am just one of many of their victims. But when you call on and you go in courtrooms,
And I just want to reiterate to everybody, this was approximately a $2 million estate, and it's wiped out. And it didn't go in her pocket. This is legal fees and everything because of inaction on handling this. It's evaporated a $2 million estate.
bloodline generations.
Yeah, and don't say that she's a gold digger and she's just in it for the money because the money's gone and she is still fighting the fight. So I just need to make a point that this is personal, it's family, and you are still fighting to make it right, not because you're after money that's no longer there.
And that's why that storage unit was so painful because that was just the crumbs, guys.
Right.
It was the crumbs. And they could have salvaged it.
and at that point you're grasping for anything.
So let's talk about the legislative reforms that
Yeah. You guys need Kleenex.
I've got a paper towel, sorry.
Paper. Oh my gosh. Please do that. That would be so funny. Here's the paper. No, I'm joking. I have. There does need to be legislative reform when it comes to my cases. Great example is obviously the fake will, right? So in Oregon, if a will looks facially valid, right? So you have paper and it looks real and it smells real and there you go, okay. And then you have someone like a Rene Pereira come in to say, it actually is real. And then you turn it in, the judge stamp, done. Now there is a time period where people can protest the will like I did, but that's after you give them the keys to the castle.
Right.
To the money, to the stuff. So there needs to be a safeguard where there is some double check that a will is valid before you hand over everything,
Right.
everything, because it took over 5 months to get the fake will thrown out. So that's obviously the big one. But something that's even, I wouldn't say more important, but definitely equally, it is a horrible system that you have here. That when you complain or have a complaint against a sheriff's office, you file it with the DPSST, and they kick it back.
And let them self-investigate. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. Like
No, that is absolutely a broken system. Yeah.
that is. So after we clear ourselves of any wrongdoing,
Putting a criminal in charge of their own and prosecution,
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
it's just. Could you imagine if I filed a complaint about Sheriff Mitchell and Mike Smith and Detective Chad Golden, and I file it to the DPSST, and they go, "Here, Sheriff Mitchell, investigate yourself."
Tell us if you did anything wrong.
Yeah,
there.
look into your detective. Tell us what you think.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you think is a better solution? That's definitely not it.
Well, I would think an organization like either the DOJ would be my first guess. They should be the one that would. I'm not educated in the way law enforcement works necessarily at the hierarchy, but I would think that the Department of Justice should be investigating these allegations against different law enforcement agencies.
Especially if it's like from an administrative role.
Right,
Right.
right. Either state police or DOJ. I would suggest either one of those. When you expect somebody to self-police, it rarely, if ever, works out. So
Yeah, I just was actually thinking that when would be a position where it would work out.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to do it. They're not going to do any of it. You could go like county to county,
yeah,
coming over Josephine or
Oh, okay.
whatever. In your case, I mean, the DOJ is not a bad idea because this was a federal or multiple state
Interstate crime,
yeah,
yeah.
it would be federal. I mean, there's
right.
Good old Chicago. So those are two issues for me that need to be looked at, and that's a Salem conversation. I think other things like we talked about before, like an ankle monitor. I just you look at all of this stuff, and it just feels kind of like circusy because it is circusy. So you're like, hey, you're on release, you can't leave the state, but we're not monitoring you. And then even when you get caught breaking your release, don't worry about it. You'll get released within a few hours. How do you stop that train?
Right. Right.
You stop it by getting a good leader inside. That's how you stop it.
Right. Apparently easier said than done.
Apparently. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this wider angle, I guess. California is the same way because you can go down there. I'm probably here now too. Steal $999 worth of whatever you want to,
Yeah.
and thank you. Come again.
Thank you. Come again.
I don't know. I mean, so
They've legalized crime.
yeah. How do we put all this back to where it was? I mean,
Change the way you vote.
well,
That's what
yeah.
Change the way you vote. Hold the powers that be accountable. Get them out of office.
You do know that other states, let me be clear, other people who live in other states other than Oregon hear about my mom's case. It's not funny. It's bad.
I've got family.
I'm trying to be serious, but it's cringy.
Oh, it is. I've got family in California that is just like they can't believe what's going on here. So,
And I shouldn't be attacked over that. I think people, there are some small groups of people that think I'm trying to like shame all of Klamath. That's actually not true. I've said because some of my dearest friends in life are Klamath County residents. They have helped me. There are good deputies at that office.
there are.
But
Yeah.
this is a broken system led by broken people.
Yep.
And I'm just not going to stay silent on it. And if people are embarrassed because of the attention that this case is bringing to the county, they should look at the people that caused that attention.
Well, to me, the ultimate insult is to attack the victim of a crime. I mean, you're there to your position is to protect those people, not go after them because you don't like the way
I think
that
Shane
they
would tell
talk.
you I'm not a victim. I do. I think he would tell you
Yeah,
he doesn't
I
think I'm a victim.
I would tend to agree with you on that, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, your mom's entire estate and generations of belongings are gone, but that doesn't affect you, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Just stuff.
yeah.
What pots and pans, right? Wasn't
How
that the
much
comment?
just stuff do I still have from my parents' stuff? It's
The
it means
just
something,
Yes.
you know. It means something. So, well, you want to have any closing words or anything you want to say to the folks of Klamath Falls, Klamath County?
yeah, there are some true heroes to my story. Um and unfortunately, I have to respect their privacy. And I
I
say
understand that.
unfortunately because I wish people knew who they were because they've just been angels on my shoulders. And if I were to tell you some of the stories of ways that people have helped me, um, one of my biggest fears I have had was that this was starting for me to change how I actually think about everyday people because it was just abusive after traumatizing after just a total financial rape.
Right.
No one cared. And so much greed by people in power, by people not, that I was starting to be like losing faith in humanity, if I'm being honest with you. And then there's certain residents who have just been so kind and reminded me what who caused, who took part in the Kathy Gerlett case is not all of Klamath. And as I continue to spread my mom's story, I will make sure that the country knows that. I'm very specific on who I name when it comes to who's at fault here. And I think you've gotten to know me well enough to know like I'm not above having conversations with people, even people that don't agree with me or agree with my criticisms. But that's the thing, you guys. No one has ever written me or emailed me and said, "You know what? I actually want to talk to you. I want to try to understand where your anger comes from. I want to try to understand where your frustration comes from. Let's come to the table." No, it's you need Botox, you're this, you're an attention whore, you're all of these other attacks. And I can't give that the time of day.
And the sad thing is, they say things like that when in fact they're the ones that are attention whores. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making comments trying to draw attention to themselves. So,
Right. The comment
yeah,
section, the drama
yeah,
of the comment section.
yeah, yeah. I every now and then I address them on Facebook myself. So,
Well,
um,
I feel like for a little bit, did you feel you were getting attacked? Because a little bit, I felt like there was this because you were covering my mom's case. Somehow you were this like anti law enforcement, and you addressed that publicly.
right. I am absolutely not anti-law enforcement. They serve a critical role.
Yeah,
Um, and we absolutely need them, but we need them to actually work for their communities. And I feel like a lot of them do. I really do. But there's some very unfortunate shortcomings that affect all of us. And from my perspective, it starts at the top.
I agree. I did want to share this because it meant a lot to me. I was sitting in court with a friend, and we had so also Renee Towan asked for travel privileges,
Jeez.
and Headland denied it. So after that ruling, there was a woman sitting, like, so my friend, and then a woman sitting next to her, and she leans over and she says, "Congratulations, I've been following you online, and good job for never giving up." And I've never met her before, didn't recognize her, just a complete stranger, congratulating me, basically just telling me not to give up.
Yeah.
And I remember just like thinking when I was walking out of the courthouse, like people care.
Yeah,
They're watching. They want to see my family have justice.
they do. They do. There are good people here.
Yeah.
More than there aren't, for lack of a better way to put it.
What would you think is the best conclusion when it comes to the healing that obviously my mom's it's become a political hot potato. You can
Right.
yeah.
Right. I think I don't think I think you know the answer to that. I don't.
I think the healing
If
for
I'm
me
being
has to
fair.
be I think the healing for me has to be internal,
Yeah.
because if it were to be something with the community, it would have to come from leadership, and they're not willing to come to the table.
Right.
And obviously that makes me less willing.
Right. Yeah. At some point, you need to take care of yourself. Um,
Mm.
yeah. I honestly, I don't have the right answer for you for that. I think again, that's a
Personal.
personal question.
Personal question.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Well, I just want to thank you guys over and over again for
yeah,
all your coverage. You
absolutely.
think you'll cover the trial?
Oh yeah, we're seeing this through. I told you a long time ago that we would see this through, and we will.
Mhm.
So absolutely, see where it ends up. And I
Mhm.
know a lot of folks watching want to know where it ends up. So
Yeah.
yeah, but again, thank you for coming on the show. I know you're a long ways from home and got a lot going on, and making time for us is really appreciated.
Yeah.
And
Is
yeah,
this your first spotlight? Your second?
second, this will be
Your
a second
second.
spotlight. Yeah, yeah.
Gosh, I love it. I love it.
So yeah, well, you kind of put that bug in my ear over a phone
Was it me?
conversation. Well, you said that
I don't
maybe
remember.
break it out into something different or separate.
Oh,
or
now I
whatever.
remember. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I decided, I'm going to run with this as a spotlight version of What's Up Klamath Falls. So
Spotlight.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys. And hey, I don't know when I'll be back, but when I am, I'd love to come to the table.
Still be here.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Kristy.
Thank you,
And nothing
guys.
but the best
Thank
for you
you.
guys.
Thanks so much.
Yep.